Hi, everyone. My name is Megan O'Rourke, and I'm the Associate Director of Regional Programs for the University of San Diego Alumni Association. Welcome to today's Denver Torero Club event, How to Build Your Financial A-Team with Jen Yuen, class of 2003. But before we begin today's session, I wanted to again welcome you all and hope that all of you and your families are doing well during this time. 2020 has been such a crazy year, and we're really thankful that you took the time to join us for today's event. So before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and go through a couple of housekeeping items just to make sure you're all well prepared for today's session. In addition to our live audience, we are recording this for later viewing. If you haven't already, please go ahead and mute your mic for the presentation portion of the event. However, this is an interactive session, so we ask that you all turn on your cameras if you feel comfortable, because we will be going through and doing introductions, conversing, things like that. For elevated viewing preferences as well, please click the top 3 buttons on the top right of your screen, /square, and hide non-video participants. Please also click speaker view so you can see Jen and the presentation more clearly. Should you have any specific questions for Jen throughout the event, feel free to go ahead and throw them in the chat and she will address them throughout today's program. Well, alrighty, let's get started. Some background on our featured speaker, Jen. Jen Yuen loves to talk about money as the founder/community organizer of the Pledgettes. Jen has spoken and moderated experiences at Denver Startup Week, 10 times Mile High, Freelance Business Week, Denver, and the International Franchising Association Conference 2019. Jen and her husband have clear financial goals, which include a diverse portfolio of investment property, retirement accounts, and businesses, all while living a minimalist but comfortable lifestyle, including traveling across the country in an Airstream RV. Welcome, Jen, and take it away.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here. It is so awesome to see Megan's background and see the campus again. I haven't been there for a few years and I'm certainly ready to get back. I'm going to share my screen as Megan shared. Please include any questions you have throughout the event, and this is going to be interactive. So actually, before I even share my screen, we are going to go into breakouts. So I am on a mission to abolish the gender wealth gap by facilitating money conversations. So that means we're going to talk about money tonight. So I'm going to put everybody into different breakout rooms, and you'll be there for a couple minutes. And the question that I'd love for you to answer is, who is your favorite person for money talks? Who do you go to talk about money? Also, if you're in the chat and you want to stay connected with whoever you're in there with, be sure to exchange some information. I'm going to send you out to breakout rooms, and I'll see you in a couple minutes. Welcome back. How was it?
It was good.
Good, yeah. All right. Welcome back. How was your first money conversation of the evening? Thumbs up? All right. Go ahead and put in the chat, what were your answers? Who are your favorite people to talk about money with? Oh, my aunt. I love that. I grew up in a family that openly talked about money. When I started dating my now husband, he liked to say that my family was very involved because we had a very active family group chat. So I love that. Keep putting your answers. And so this evening, we are going to talk about the 5 types of people that you should have in your financial A-team. I'm going to give you guys a link to a worksheet that is basically the framework of what we're going through. I just dropped that in the chat. And if you do have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions. And we will go from there. All right, so Your financial A team should be much like your professional network. As you're growing people, you want to have different types of people. Otherwise, if you just keep finding a bunch of people like you're all going to have the same ideas, you're all going to have the same knowledge, and it's not really giving you an opportunity to grow. So I'm going to go through each of these 5 types. And along the way, I will ask you to put in the chat if you feel like you have some people in these 5 types, or if these are places and people that you need to find. So type 1 is growth partners. This is what people think about when they think about building their financial A team. These are the types of people who are the closest to your goals, who can help you. A financial advisor. Most people have financial advisors. They can help you with your long range goals on helping you plan out when you want to retire and how you're going to get there. If you are interested in real estate, which I know we got some questions on, you might need a realtor, an insurance agent, a mortgage lender. Start building out those teams now if you have goals of investing in real estate, whether a primary residence or doing some investment properties. At first, if you are looking, if real estate is something, talking to a mortgage lender now, even if you don't think you're going to purchase for a couple of years, can be very beneficial, because those mortgage lenders can help look at your financial picture today and help you make some money moves by the time you're ready to apply for a mortgage. And those tips that they may help you with may increase your credit score, may make you a stronger candidate for a mortgage, which is going to give you the best loans and the best terms. Thinking of your goals, who are some growth partners that you have? Go ahead and put in the chat some of the people that fall into this growth partner type. These people are generally licensed professionals. They have specific experience, both from an educational perspective and experience helping people with similar goals to yours. These people are also going to ask you the right questions to gain some clarity on your goals. If you just come in and say, I want to invest in real estate, we're just going to stay with the real estate here theme for this slide. They might ask, is it a primary residence? Is it an investment property? How long do you plan to live there? Do you plan on needing more space in the future? All of these goals can help you gain clarity on being more specific with your goal. They analyze and understand your current financial state. How many people have been given some free financial advice from somebody who doesn't know anything about how much cash you have on hand, how much debt you may have? All of these types of things, I find so often that there's a plethora of free advice, but it is not specific to your financial situation. And as I shared, they can lay out a path to work towards those goals. All right, so we have some, Maya's dad is on her team, financial advisor, and insurance agent. I love these. These are awesome. All right. Here's some ideas on where to find these people. Generally, people in the real estate industry, they all work together. So if you love your realtor, get some suggestions for a mortgage broker or a lender and an insurance agent. If there is a family or friend who is invested in real estate, get some names from them. I recommend that you interview at least 3 people of every type of person to get the right person on your financial A team. Everybody who is a part of your A team should clearly understand your goal, have the experience of helping someone in your situation, and answer your questions clearly and directly. If, for example, somebody asked a pre-question on, is hiring a financial planner worth the cost? Well, it depends. One question that I recommend asking financial advisors as you're interviewing them is, how do you get paid? How do they get paid as a financial advisor? There are 2 common types. There's one, a percentage of the assets that they manage for you, and the other may be fee-based. The fee base is they might charge you a fee to consult on your personal financial situation and help you build a plan. You can then go and execute that plan on your own through robo advisors or investing on your own, or they may manage your assets for you too. We all understand that it's a business and this is a professional career. They should get paid for their services. So if you are interviewing a financial advisor and they tell you don't worry about how they get paid, that should be a red flag. So understand how your financial advisor is getting paid. In terms of it, if it's worth the cost, it really depends on how involved you want to be. And you should be certain level of involved. But if you want to be picking your own stocks, if you want to be doing a lot of the research on finding different funds, then maybe a financial advisor isn't worth it in terms of hiring somebody who's going to manage, who's going to receive a percent of the assets managed. However, if you feel like you want a human to call and to ask questions and have conversations with, a financial advisor is a wonderful person to have on your financial A team, and and I believe that they can be worth the cost. Absolutely. If you want to retire someday, a financial advisor, a CFP, or an estate attorney. The estate attorney, somebody had asked a question on thoughts on estate planning. I am a huge advocate of estate planning. My husband and I are actually going through the process this year on our own. We hired an estate planning attorney to walk us through the process. It was incredible. They asked a number of great questions and shared a bunch of different scenarios for us to consider. Like Megan shared in the introduction, we have multiple properties, multiple real estate investments. We don't have any kids. So some people kind of feel like you should get an estate or a will when you have kids, but actually as soon as you have assets, you should start putting together these legal documents for your wishes after you go. That also includes updating your beneficiaries if you have any 401ks or investment accounts, and to just create a plan of what you want to happen to all your assets after you go. I also think it's fun, maybe not fun, but I feel like it's a more pleasant experience to work on my estate plan and think about the fact that I'm going to die one day when I don't feel like death is imminent at my doorstep. So the further away I feel from death, I think it's kind of more fun to plan. And actually, we're talking about funeral planning as well, because there's a lot of cost savings if you can plan your funeral in advance. And again, the emotional benefit of it might just be more fun to plan your funeral when you're not in the hospital on your deathbed. We'll see. All right. If you're owning your own business, perhaps you need an accountant, a bookkeeper, a tax planner, or an attorney. I have a fractional CFO that helps me with my business. That means I cannot afford a full CFO at this time, but she'll come in and help me with quarterly planning sessions. We'll review our numbers. It's incredible to be able to talk to an expert about the big picture of my business without having to have a six-figure person on my payroll. Someone asked any financial tips for small business owners. Know your numbers and have a best case scenario and a realistic scenario. There are so many articles, there are so many communities that help small business owners, startups, entrepreneurs, founders get connected and start talking to other people to build up your mentors, and to find people to celebrate the success with, and to call in the rough times to just get some support and some feedback. All right. The second type of person that you should have are connectors. You know, one of these people, or two of them, or three of them. This is your outgoing friend that doesn't believe that money's a taboo topic. Now, this person does not have any professional licenses or education to be your financial advisor or to be your realtor, but they may have some great lived experience that they want to share. And they're pretty well connected. So they're already making some money moves themselves. These are great people to talk to if you want to learn what they're up to and know that they have some connections. They can help, but they can't advise. So if you listen to a connector who has this great business opportunity or this great investment opportunity for you, and it goes south, they have no fiduciary responsibility. That is your loss. That it was your investment that you took a risk on, and it didn't work out. So just know that they're not qualified to give you advice, but they can certainly help. How to find these people? So maybe it was the who you would vote for most likely to know a guy. They're always talking about the latest, coolest person they met, or they have previously introduced you to your partner, your boss, your best friend. Do you guys feel like you have some connectors, or are you guys looking for connectors? Put in the chat whether you feel like you've got them or you need to find some. All right, our type 3 is mentors and mentees. I think this is incredibly valuable and one of my favorite types of people that I meet. I love this ancient quote: to go fast, go alone; to go far, go together. So finding some mentors that are 10 steps ahead of you. So this might be someone, if let's say, if they are on track for the FIRE movement to be financially independent, retire early, and you would also like to retire early, start talking to them. See what podcasts they're listening to, what books they're reading, what YouTube videos they're watching. How are they learning about the FIRE movement to be able to make their money moves? I also want you to turn around and find the people who are 10 steps behind you. Is there somebody at work that maybe where you were at 2 years ago or 3 years ago, what do you wish you had known about money 2 or 3 years ago? How to negotiate a raise, how to add value to your company to get a promotion. So mentors and mentees inspire and motivate you, and your mentees can change the world. So how awesome would it be to have the influence over people who are behind you, who are going to go further and faster than you? Great. I just find so much joy and excitement in that. All right. So for these people, tune into social media. Who's reading the books, listening to the podcast? Ask them to have a conversation about money and what they've done. If you're at work, test the waters a little bit. Start some high-level money conversations with families, friends, and coworkers. And just reach out and ask. Ask your mentors, ask your mentees to have financial money conversations with you. If you already have a mentor at work, ask them to take the relationship a little bit deeper and talk more about money, maybe outside of building your income. How are you guys feeling on mentors and mentees? All right, Jennifer's giving me the thumbs up. I love it. Type 4 is my favorite. This is your high five tribe. It may be a virtual high five these days, but it is with the same enthusiasm. So these are your friends that you don't have to say very much to get it. Do we have any freelancers or self-employed people out here? These are great people who you can just say a few words about, like, I'm trying to get an SOW signed by a new client, and they get you right away. They know all the vernaculars. They know where you've been. And the great thing is you don't have to be on the same journey. So with the Pledgettes, we're a community for women to talk about money. And just last week, every Monday, we have Money Moves check-ins. We had one member talk about canceling her unused membership, and we had another member who just went under contract on buying a house. We celebrated both of those financial achievements with the same enthusiasm and the same amount of high fives. This is also important to remember, they aren't competing with you. So if your friend gets a raise, it doesn't mean that you're getting a demotion or a pay cut. Like, we can all celebrate each other's achievements because it's all just our own bucket of money at the end of the day. Your high five tribe is your loudest cheerleader, and they know that short code. Who's got some people in their high five tribes? All right, awesome. They're my favorite. If you are looking for some people for your high five tribe, see who's celebrating others, who is sharing, who's commenting on a social media post or sharing about a friend's new business. And if you are looking for some established high five tribes, talk to me about the Pledgettes. It's a great space. There are so many awesome communities out there who can help you. And fifth and final are the diverse thinkers. You may think that they're crazy, but you might actually learn something too. These are the early adopters to online banks. They were the risk takers with cryptocurrency, or maybe they're reading about sacred economics. These are all three people that I have in my financial A team. The beautiful thing about the diverse thinkers is you don't have to agree, and you definitely don't have to follow in their footsteps. I have zero investments in cryptocurrency. I do not have any Bitcoin or otherwise. I don't really understand it yet. I don't understand how secure it's going to be. So I just haven't done it. But I like talking to people who have invested in cryptocurrency because I love to see what their process, what made them take the risk. Do they take a lot of risks in other areas too? What was that moment where they realized that they wanted to pull the trigger and invest in cryptocurrency? And oftentimes with diverse thinkers, sometimes I won't go as far as them, but it might push me a little bit outside of my comfort zone. You can find these people on the rabbit hole of social media. Like Daniel shared, there are plenty of mentors you can find online. You can also find plenty of diverse thinkers. They read a lot about theories, economic theories, leadership theories. What do they think the world is going to look like 10, 15, 20 years from now? And I always encourage you to stay curious, ask questions, encourage dialogue, and just see where the conversation goes. Again, you don't have to commit any of your money to it. You're just having an open conversation about it. All right, before we go, I'm going to stop sharing and we're going to do some more breakouts, and then we'll come back for a Q&A. So this time I've got 3 more money conversations for you to talk about. One, what is your first memory of money? Number 2, what would you do if you won the lottery? And number 3, do you use cash, credit, or debit most often? So I'm going to put you guys into breakout rooms. And we're going to have some new conversations with new folks. I'll see you guys back in a bit. Welcome back. How was it? Good. These are some of my, oh, Maya, show me your pup or your pet. Oh man, so cute.
Little Yorkie.
Oh my gosh.
That's so bad, but you know.
I had a dog that lived till 15 and a half. I got him right after school. And one time my brother and I were talking, he's like, how much do you think you spent on your pet over her lifetime? And I started to add up how much I spent on my dog. in her 15 and a half years, probably like 13 years at that point. And I stopped counting after like $30,000 because I was like, oh, this is just making me feel bad.
They're expensive, the vet trips and all. Oh, don't even
Vet
get me
trips and
started. Yeah.
boarding and food and toys and oh, they're great. But it's a financial decision to get a dog as cute as Maya's. How was your conversation? Does anyone want to unmute themselves and share their answer to one of the conversations or one of the questions?
Can I nominate someone to share their answer? Can I nominate Danielle to share her answer about what she would do if she won the lottery? That was a good one.
If she's willing to share.
Sure. Well, yeah, I had shared that I was watching a real estate show at my parents' for people who buy houses after they won the lottery. And their piece of advice is to get a lawyer as soon as you win and have someone actually collect the lottery for you so your name isn't associated.
Super good tip. I love that.
Yeah, hopefully someone can use it one day on this call.
Yeah, exactly. What I love about the question about the lottery is that everybody has an answer, but very few people that I talk to actually play the lottery. So, the lottery slogan of "you have to play to win." But it's always fun to dream about this, even if you do not spend money buying lottery tickets from time to time. And what I love about this question too is that if you are struggling on what kind of big financial goals you should be working towards over the next 10, 15, 20, 50 years, this question is incredible to start giving you some ideas. So if you would pay off all of your debt, you don't have to win the lottery to start an accelerated debt payment plan. If you would buy real estate, you start making plans today for how you can buy real estate without winning the lottery. If you would start a business or give to charity, there are all these action steps that we can take so we can achieve our lottery winning goals without actually ever playing or winning the lottery. Does someone want to share one of their first money memory?
Megan gets to choose.
Do I get to go?
It's fine.
Okay, there you go.
I think I shared my earliest memory was the tooth fairy and having money underneath my pillow and having the piggy bank and getting really excited when I could put like coins inside.
Yes. I love that. Also, some of our first memories of when we're growing up still influence our money mindset today. So our money mindset is our beliefs, our assumptions, our feelings about money. And that shows up in our everyday purchases. So if Maya's remembering, as I heard a few people talking about the tooth fairy coming, how does that show up in your money mindset? Are you waiting for gifts? Are you open to receiving gifts? There's always the first money memory too. It always involves somebody else because somebody has to introduce you to the concept of money. And it also is tied to an emotion. So some people have these memories where they get really excited about money. It was very positive. Others, it might have been about counting money to pay for groceries or being told that you can't have something because it's too expensive. And that might be more of a scarcity mindset that showed up. The great news is that your money mindset can evolve. So if you are, if you grew up in a household that money was a taboo topic or money was scarce, you can certainly evolve your money mindset by thinking about those times where you were totally awesome with your money. You made extra payments towards your student debt. You bought that first condo. A few people talked about buying real estate. You get to kind of evolve your money mindset by including more positive experiences or some of the negative experiences, you can take away those lessons. So Danielle was actually my roommate in college, so I'm so excited to see her here today. And when we were living together, I overdrafted in my checking account once. It was a big mistake. I know exactly why it happened. I wasn't paying attention and deposited some money but wrote a check for it. It was a long story. It was confusing, but I overdrafted. It felt horrible. Part of me was saying I'm bad with money, but then I'm like, nope, I'm going to turn this around, and I have not overdrafted on one of my banks again. So instead of taking that money memory and thinking I'm bad with money, I'm not responsible with money, said I learned a lesson. I made a mistake in college, but I haven't made it since, and I'm responsible with money.